I saw this same fair, handsome young man staring at me. Oh my. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chidera. So I know by the title of this video, you already know what this video is going to be all about. I planned filming this video with hubby, but he's not around to film it with me today. But then I know I have tons and tons and tons of video to film with him. So why don't we just use this one whole body until he comes around? I know you are eager to listen to this love story, but before then, I would like you to please subscribe to my channel. Please. It's very important to me. Please subscribe and make sure you watch this video till the end. Alright, so it all started when we were given a short holiday break from school. I traveled to Abuja to spend my holiday break. So that morning I was already through with the holiday and I was going back to Owerri from Abuja. So I was in the taxi that was supposed to take me to the airport, and then as we were very close to the airport, I noticed this taxi that was in a very high speed to pass us. At first I was scared, but when it became too serious for me to handle, I looked out through the window and I was like, "Oga, where are you rushing to?" Then the man just said, "Get out." The taxi man that carried me took it upon himself to shout at this other taxi driver, and they were just shouting and yelling at each other. At that time, I looked again and I saw this fair, handsome young man seated at the back seat of the other taxi driver. He wasn't saying anything, like seriously. He was not even concerned about what was happening in his environment. And in my mind, I was like, just suit yourself. You were going to die. Just go and die somewhere. They drove past us. So that day when I got to the airport, I nearly missed my flight, but I'll just leave the story for another day. When I got to the airport, I did all the necessary stuff and I walked into the plane. When I entered the plane, guess who I saw? I saw this same fair, handsome young man staring at me. Oh my God. I did as if I had not seen him, and then I walked to my seat. But as I was just about sitting down, my book fell down. And that day I was holding this book, Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Adichie. My book fell down. I bent down to pick the book, and I didn't even know this other guy bent down to help me and pick the book. So when I raised my head, he was about raising his head at the same time, and then our head knocked together. And I was like, what have you done? And then I heard the most sweetest, romantic voice I've ever heard in my entire life. And he said, "Does he hurt?" Guys, it took me like few seconds to remember myself again because I was lost in that sweet voice. You remember that? If you've watched Bridgerton, you remember that scene where Simon was licking his spoon and Daphne was like, that was what happened to me. So when I remembered myself immediately, I said, yes, just a little. He said, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. The first line I heard was, were you not the lady I saw today? And I was like, I'm even surprised that anybody can be calm in such an environment. Like, how could you be so quiet with such a reckless driver? He introduced himself to me. He said, my name is Victor, and I said, my name is Chidera. And he asked if I'm based in Owerri. I said yes. So I didn't talk much again until our flight landed in Owerri. And he said, please, if you don't mind, may I have your number? I gave him my number and I didn't even bother collecting his. But when I got to my hostel that day, I regretted that mistake. I was like, why didn't I collect his number from him? Such a fine, handsome young man. You know now, you know those stuff. So that was what happened. He didn't call that day. I expected his calls, but he didn't call. So it was the next day. I was already dressed for school, and then this number called me. When I picked it up, I heard that same voice that said, "Does it hurt?" Guys, I jumped on the bed when I heard his voice. Oh my God, I was so happy because it was like a dream come true for me. I wasn't expecting it that morning, and I was so happy. When I heard his voice, I recognized who was calling me, but I was like, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Victor, the guy that collected your number at the airport the other day." I said, "Okay." So he asked me if I will be going to school that day. I said yes. He said he would like to see me. He asked me if I would be free, but I said I don't know. That whenever I'm free, I will let him know. He kept calling until one day he asked me again. I can remember that was on a Sunday afternoon. He said he called and asked if I am free. I said okay, that I will be free today. So he asked me the address to my hostel. He said he would like to come and pick me up if I don't mind. And then I said okay, you're free to come and pick me up. And that was it. So around evening, maybe around that kind 3-4, he came around, and then we went out. We went to this fancy restaurant. Oh my God, this beautiful restaurant in Owerri. We had lunch. After eating and drinking and gisting, I went back to my hostel, and I was just like, this guy is okay. He's not bad. He's fine. And he has money, like cool cash. So guys, that was how we started dating. And I can remember there was a particular day he promised to take me out for dinner. I was just all dressed up, like going out. And then when we were on our way, I asked him exactly which restaurant are we going, and he said his house. And I said no way, like I'm not going there. He said okay, that he can quickly reverse and then we can go to another place. I said okay, but I said I am just going because of all the efforts you've put into preparing everything. If not, I wouldn't go. He said okay, but let's just go and enjoy ourselves. Guys, so none of this happened. If you've watched this video to this moment, just believe me that none of this happened. This is just a video that I made up in my head. I hope you enjoy this one, and make sure you subscribe and wait for my next one. Bye bye.